So I've just left my house and walking into the office, waking up obviously, seeing the news last night and the news this morning dominated by the horrific attacks within the Jewish community just about a mile from here. And I was driving home from Salford City last night. I was driving actually to Salford City, going down a Littleton Road, seeing 60, probably 50 or 60 Union Jack flags. And on the way back I went down the parallel road, which is Berrynew Road, which has got the Jewish community right at its heart, and they're out on the streets, defiant, not hiding or in fear. And I just kept thinking as I was driving home last night that we're all being turned on each other, and the division that's being created is absolutely disgusting. Mainly created by angry, middle-aged white men who know exactly what they're doing. Funnily enough, on one of my development sites last week, there was a Union Jack flag put up, and I took it down instantly. And some people might be watching this and thinking, well, Gary, you're not very patriotic. I played my country 85 times. I love my country. I love Manchester and I love England. But I've been building in this city for 15, 20 years, and there's no one put a Union Jack flag up in the last 15 to 20 years, so why do you need to put one up now? Because quite clearly it's sending a message to everybody that there is something you don't like. The Union Jack flag being used in a negative fashion is not right. And I'm a proud supporter of England, of Great Britain, of our country, and we're championing it anywhere in the world as being one of the greatest places to live. But I think we need to check ourselves. We need to check ourselves and sort of start to think about bring ourselves back to a neutral point, because we're being pulled right and left, and we don't need to be pulled right and left at all. I've always said this about, I played in a football team with a group of people from Manchester, a group of people from Ireland, Wales, Scotland, but also people from Africa, people from Asia, people from America, people from Europe, and we were a beautiful team, united as one. Brexit has had a devastating impact on this country, and the messaging is getting dangerous, extremely dangerous. All these idiots that are out there spreading hate speech in any form and abuse in any form, we must stop promoting them. We must stop elevating our voices towards them. And it needs to stop now and get back to a country of love, of peace, of harmony, and become a team again.
I think it's astonishing, in the wake of an Islamist terror attack, that he decides to have a go at middle-aged white men. Maybe the angry middle-aged white men are the ones that worked on minimum wage inside his hotel. I don't know. I think he's a champagne socialist and a coward. I think it's a dreadful thing to have said.
How is he a coward?
Well, I think the real issue is about radical Islamist extremism, and he doesn't have the balls to call it out for what it is, rather than suggest that people that are challenged in our country about what's happening, he's insulated from these things. He lives in a very rarefied world where his money and privilege has enabled him to live behind a gated environment, not have to worry about NHS appointments, not have to worry about people being attacked in the streets by immigrants that shouldn't be here in the first place. He doesn't have to worry about these things, and so he has the ability to be able to sit there and observe in such a way that insulates himself from it. And I think it's an appalling stance to have taken. He's entitled to his view. He's entitled to a view. We are quite happy to wave every other flag in this country, whether it's Palestinian flags, Ukraine flags, or any other flag that we feel that we're able to wave. But when you're talking about people in this country that have legitimate concerns and want to have a legitimate value set and push back against what they're having forced upon them, for Gary Neville to say what he's just said is the exact embodiment of what I said, which is a champagne socialist, which is insulated from the real world, and a coward, because the real issue is about some of the extremism that's going on in this country.
Yeah, it's strange old times, and I'm not really sure how Gary's going to explain this one away.
Well, you explain it for him.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, in his obviously isolated. The world he lives in, he's in the kind of ivory tower position of, shuttled into a Sky studio, back behind the wall in whatever, sprawling estate he's got. They're saying he's worth between 50 and 70 million quid. People are telling me that Overlap earns all them 20 grand a pop. They're sponsored by Arnie now, so surely Arnie's going to be delighted with Gary saying that, because I would imagine their target audience is kind of white middle-class men.
It's not fellas called Jihad anyway, is it?
Well, it's definitely not fellas called Jihad. White middle-class men called Jihad. I can't imagine there being that many of them around. Certain politicians pop up and say, the far right, we have to be careful to guide against the far right and the dangers of the far right. And then we have this pillock, Neville. Now, he's crossed over with me because, as I said to him in Rio last night, look, I'm more than welcome to debate both of you. Let's roll for 2 hours, discuss any topic. Gary, you've sat in a room with me when we did the Edge podcast. I'm not, don't need to be scared of me, but intellectually, I think you've got a lot to answer for here. You're a lad from Bury who has not once mentioned the grooming scandal that's affected not only your area, but lots of those surrounding the areas. You've also been at Davos where you were asked that and you said about, no care about politics.
Gary, how you doing? What brings you here today? Huh? What brings you to the World Economic Forum?
I'm just having a walk down the front, mate. Just having a meeting with Janie.
Oh, how you doing, Jana? Janie, how are you feeling about the new Trump administration for Britain? Do you think he's going to be good?
I've got no comment at all.
No comments? What about Elon Musk highlighting the grooming issue in your country? Do you think that's a good thing?
Yeah, Manchester United.
Oh, look at that! I've been. Was I not being useful before?
20 years now.
I love it. I'm copying it from her. Brother, let me ask you quickly. Do you think it was a good thing that Elon Musk is highlighting the grooming gang problem in your country?
I've got no comment, mate.
Really? Why not?
I've got no comment on Trump and Musk and all the rest of it.
So what brings you here, though?
What brings me here? I'm a partner in the company with Janie.
Oh, what's the company?
Kinsella.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing dodgy.
Nothing dodgy there?
There's nothing dodgy here, not for you, mate.
Are you feeling hopeful for the future now?
Of what?
The world. It's a new day, a new era, isn't it?
Is it?
Donald Trump became president yesterday.
Oh, sorry, I'm not across that really. I stick to...
You don't care about politics?
I do care about politics, yeah. But not really, to be fair, speaking about it in America. I've never spoken about American politics.
But doesn't it affect Britain?
You all right, you? You all right?
No? You're a pretty political person, though.
No, not really.
No? All right, brother. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Good luck.
You pretended to not know that Donald Trump had been elected as the US president, the 47th US president for the second time. So, you said you were there to talk about something, somebody's tweeted, and maybe the chat will tell us, this Costello thing, which is maybe something to do with lining your own pockets again, you fucking money-grabbing little whore. Oh, the Qataris, but you still popped up out there and took the hush money, didn't you? You got all these human rights things, and the lads on Have I Got News For You obviously tore you a new arsehole over that, because you sat and squealed and done that stupid little laugh. This gaslighting you all the time, saying to you, no, you're a racist for thinking that, you're far right for thinking that. There's a synagogue attacked and we get a fucking dickhead footballer, absolute idiot, who is available, his arsehole is for rent to the highest bidder. If that's the Qataris, he'll forget anything to do with human rights to go and take the Qatari money. He is a whore who is open for exploitation, as he has shown this weekend with his stupid comments. Now, if he was a man of the people like he says he was, and if he was really at touch or in touch with his fan base or the people that support his shows or his football club or some of his businesses, then he would know middle-aged white men in this country aren't the problem. Sticking a few flags up and being petrified that your daughters or your granddaughters or your wife are going to be accosted in a changing room by an illegal invader is not a fucking far-right position.
Hang on a second. He's blaming middle-aged white men, the people that actually pay for Sky Sports, pay his salary. He's blaming them for all the division, not some evil crazed, mad Islamist who went out to kill innocent people. I tell you what, this Gary Neville is so detached from reality, so detached from the average football fan, it is not true. I'm amazed that Sky Sports keep him on. What do you think?
Breaking news, not quite in batshit bonkers Britain and in yet another time zone. However, Gary Neville, you do not escape my attention. You obviously decided there was a cunt-sized hole in the market, what with the departure of Gary Lineker. So you waded on in talking about the synagogue and the attack on Jews in Manchester. Now, did you blame the alleged rapey jihadi guy who conducted the attack? Did you blame the black and white tea towel pro-Pally brigade that have incited this kind of behaviour? No. You decided to blame British white men. And to top it off, just while you were about it, old Timu Gandhi, you decided to rip down a British flag from one of your many building sites. Here's my theory, Gary. I think you've been gobbling away on Qatari cock so hard it's blown your eardrums and you can't hear the shit that you're coming out with. So Timu Gandhi, if I could get a hold of one of your flip-flops, I would batter you around the face with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world whereby I think that talk has become one of the leading vehicles for common sense. We've been talking about it for years, long before I came here. We talk every day about things that seem to make perfect sense to us, but to the rest of the lefty world, or those on the left, they think that we're a nightmare. Gary Neville, let me give you Gary Neville, a man who eked out an incredibly successful football career at Manchester United, played 85 times for England, and has built a portfolio of properties in Manchester, has got into media, was a crap football manager, didn't last long at Valencia, but has made a fortune, cynically on the back of his mate David Beckham, but he's made a fortune, 70 million quid he's worth. Gary Neville, aka Gary Lineker Mark II, thought it would be a really good idea over the weekend on his Insta thing or whatever, I don't know, Twitter, twat or whatever, what, LinkedIn is it? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Anyway, this is what the idiot Gary Neville said. Pin back your lug holes and don't get too angry, go.
Driving home from Salford City last night, I was driving actually to Salford City, going down a Littleton Road, seeing 60, probably 50 or 60 Union Jack flags, and I just kept thinking as I was driving home last night that we're all being turned on each other, and the division that's being created is absolutely disgusting, mainly created by angry middle-aged white men who know exactly what they're doing.
I'm sorry, I just, and I know I tell you every week I'm going to come here and I'm going to be calm. We're being turned against each other, mainly by angry middle-aged white men who deem it OK to put up flags. And he then went on to say that he owns several buildings in Manchester where he's been building for 15 or 20 years, and he saw one the other day and he took it down. So disrespectful does he think it is? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. I'm not going to sit here and say stick to football. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But entitled's the word I want to give you, right? Why am I surrounded by people like Neville who have made millions on the back of working class people, people they're supposed to represent, people they're supposed to respect? Does he actually believe that middle-aged white men raising flags is causing division in this country? I said to Ian, and I'll say to you guys now on this show, 3 hours after those poor Jewish people on Yom Kippur were murdered by that terrorist called Jihad, make up your own lines for God's sake, shouldn't have been in the country, but there we go. A protest march not 3 hours later, not a mile away, with people waving Palestinian flags and shouting obscenities. But Gary Neville wouldn't mention that, would he? No, but if you stood up and you went, I think it's disgraceful that these people are marching and inciting violence, people like Neville would go, oh, this is unfair, but it's all right to attack middle-aged white men. I'll tell you what, Gary Neville, right? Do two things. Take your fortune and give it to every immigrant and every group that you think isn't treated well in this country. Do that, but you won't, will you? Or go and live somewhere, you numpty, where there are immigrants on the streets and where your teenage daughters might not feel safe, rather than behind the gates of your massive mansion in Cheshire. I think it's an absolute outrage. I don't know what you think.
Fuck you. Hi, I'm John. I'm just ringing to apologise. John, who the fuck's got my number? And I'll let you off, mate, 'cause it's the first time your number's come up. Yeah, I really don't have a clue. Some kid who goes to Millfield School. Right, and who the fuck have you got my number off? Huh? This kid? Yeah. Yeah. Where's the connection back to me? I literally have no clue whatsoever.
Yo, you better find out, John, because I'm going to fucking give your number to police if you've not found out for me in the next hour.
In the next hour?
I'll ring you in the next hour, John.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going to tell me who started passing my number around your school.
Okay, yeah. Apparently, I'm being told now, yeah, that Tony Adams' son.
Tony Adams' son? Who's Tony Adams?
You know, used to play for Arsenal?
Shut up, you fucking dick.
I'm being genuinely serious.
Shut up, you fucking dick.
Why? I'm being serious.
Because he wouldn't have my fucking number. Who the
No, I'm not
my
joking.
number?
His son goes to Millfield School, and he knows a kid called Henry who also goes to Millfield School, and he's given him your number.
Right, and who's given it him?
And he's given it to Ben Metcalf, who goes to our school.
No, who's given it out originally?
I really don't...
Whereabouts is the school?
Pardon?
Whereabouts is your school?
My school?
Yeah.
Bristol.
In Bristol?
Yeah.
Right, I'll find out for you within the next hour who passed the number to Tony Adams' fucking son. Alright?
Well, I'll try.
I'll ring you back. No, you won't try. You'll do it. Else your number's going to the police with the other fucking 6.
Well, I'll try my hardest, because if
Union Jack flags have appeared outside Gary Neville's hotel football after he went on a rant saying they were being used in a negative fashion. In a video, he said the nation is being turned on each other by angry middle-aged white men who know what they're doing. People who disagree with him have tied these flags to the lampposts outside his hotel.